All right. My phone quit on the last part. So this is chapter 4 continued of my video diary about the beautiful city. And at that point is when we went to play in the garden and then I got in this body. Well, I'm going to go back up to experiences throughout this time in the beautiful city. There's many of them, and I don't always remember them right away to say them, but I do when I remember them, I know what to say, I know what to talk about. Okay, there's several incidents that happened there. For one, there was a music contest, and I was participating in that contest. And I needed to come up with a song, and I had like this dressing room area, and I was in there trying to come up with a song. And I never did come up with a song. I leave and come back and nothing. You leave and come back and nothing. Pretty soon, it was announced, Golden, it's your turn. Well, I'm like, I don't have a song. But, oh well, I'm going to go out anyway and see what happens. So I went out into this stage and the music started. I don't know what it was. Anyway, and it began to come up from within me the song. And I sang it. And the children that were there, my brothers and sisters, were singing the backup lyrics. This song is called Knock on Wood, and it's the disco version. And I guess you'd call it disco. Yeah, it had that beat that I like. Anyway, so I sang it. And don't ask me how, I didn't know the words. It came up like through my spirit, through my inside and out, and would well up, and I just sang it out. And the children that were in front of the stage, like the audience type thing, only they're standing on their feet, dancing and singing, and they would sing the backup choruses. And I remember looking over here and I saw big feet, which looked like it was a big throne. And I didn't look up any farther. I just could see, I guess, the Lord's feet. Or somebody, could have been Father God, for all I know. All I know was there was somebody big over there sitting on a throne watching this whole thing. And then, of course, the song ended. And then I left. I exited the same way I came out. And a little bit later, I'm over near my dressing room. And a person named Becky, in this earth, her name is Becky or Rebecca Rader. Well, before she was a Raider, she's Becky as far as I knew, or Rebecca. And she came out with, I believe, Elaine, and another one, and I don't remember. There was a couple of them there besides, but it was Becky that told me that I had won. Wow. Well, apparently I had won that contest, so I think I won some kind of music position. I don't remember exactly, except that I'd won. Then not too long after that, Jesus would come and get me, and he showed me people, and he showed me people that I would see in the earth later. For instance, he showed me Clint Eastwood. He showed me other folks, pastors. Okay, it was like a road of people, like the road of life, and a road of people that would be intersecting in my life. As far as I didn't know that at the time, but that's what I gather from that experience. And at that point, I was listening to different people's music. For instance, there's several musicians that I would listen to and hear, and it wasn't exactly my thing, but I wouldn't put it down, but I would listen. And as I was doing that, KC and the Sunshine Band came up to me and asked me if I would listen. to their song. I said, sure. So they played this song, and I thought it was quite good. It sounded, but I thought, it needs a beat. It needed something. It was missing a beat. So I was demonstrating for them the beat, and I said, I like, you need a beat, and this is the way I like it, like this. That's the way I like it. And we were doing that, and it was like, that's the way, yep, that's the beat, and it was boom, 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 boom. That's the way, I like it, Okay, well, that's where that song came from. And they have kept the beat. They are still going strong today. They still tour. Casey and the Sunshine Band. Good job. They're still touring, and they play the music with the beat that I like. Okay. They are the cat's meow. They are the bee's knees. To me, that's the heartbeat of love right there. It's just the way I like it. Yep. Casey and the Sunshine Band. Good job. Anyway, so that's one thing that happened. Now backing up, there's several different instances that happen in this city. Like there's people in the earth right now that I knew then. Like I said, John Rader, Becky Rader, their mom Esther Rader. I was introduced to her by the Lord. I remember watching Nat King Cole on what we call The Sea. It was a great big screen in black and white, and it had, it looked like a makeup mirror in a dressing room, but because it had lights going all the way around it. And Nat King Cole was singing Stardust. And all the girls were listening to the song, and they were just cooing. It was beautiful. And I was agreeing. Anyway, that was one incident that happened. Becky, we had interaction quite a few times. One time, Becky came to my music stand, and she said, "Hey, Music." She used to call me Music. That's where I got the handle, I think. Anyway, she asked me if I wanted to go for a ride on a bug. What? Yeah. So I was like, I don't know about that. She said, "Come on, it's fun." So I followed her down to this, I guess it was a house, and there was a window that was slightly open, and it led into a kitchen, and there was a lady in there with a spatula or a fly swatter. Anyway, the idea was, she told me to you jump on the back of probably a fly, okay? But it was a bug of some sort, and it jumped on the back of it, and then you fly in there, and you try not to get hit by the fly swatter. Well, I got on the back of the bug, and the bug took off, and I was going right at this lady, and she had a fly swatter, and she was moving kind of slow. Anyway, that fly swatter came out with a swipe, and I jumped off that bug and flew back out that window. And I said, "I'm going back to my music stand, Becky." She said, "Sure, you don't want to go for another ride on a bug?" I'm like, "No, that's okay. I'll pass." Because I didn't like the idea of that fly swatter thing. So I went back to my music stand. That's one incident. Another time with Becky Rader, she came up, "Music, you want to go for a walk with us? We're going to go for a walk. We're going to go see the town." I'm like, "Nah, I didn't really want to go." She said, "Come on, it'll be fun." All right. So I put my guitar down, and we went down, I guess you'd say, Cedar Street to the corner. We walked up Sacramento. In correlation, that would be Sacramento in Dunsmuir. And we walked that, and we looked at the buildings, and we stayed on the sidewalk, and then we walked around the corner and up around what we would call the old Bank of America building. And instead of taking the stairs, we went up and around on the sidewalk. And when we came to the top, looking at Pine Street, there's a fountain there. There's a fountain there now. But on the other side, this fountain shoots up 3 great big plumes of water. Okay, just great big giant plumes of water. And it all comes out onto the street. Now, the streets are gold. And the water and the gold, with the sun shining, is bright and beautiful. It sparkles. We splashed across the street, and as I'm coming up around the corner, there's this big white building on one corner, and in Dunsmuir, that's the Travelers Hotel. Anyway, and then so we went up the street, and on the one side where we would say is Dunsmuir Hardware is an armament building, and it has the face of a deer on it. Well, on that side, it had like a C on it, and it had like his animated face. And this animated face was saying, "Ah, there's my children, my beautiful children." Pretty sure it was father. Anyway, so we walked up the street, and we went to a building that used to be Sentong's trading post. And on the window, it had these, in heaven things are animated. Okay, well, there was these two puppets. One had a gong, and the other one was like a barker. And the barker was saying, "Come one, come all, come learn the secrets of the Orient." And bong, the other puppet would bang the gong. So this was a kind of a mysterious place to us. So Becky, first one in, she slowly opens the door, and we all come up behind her, and we're going into this place. And then the man came over and said, "Can I help you?" And we all laughed, and we ran out of there because it was kind of spooky. So after I did that, I ran out and I was in the street, and then I crossed it, and I looked up because I heard something, and it was an angel coming in for a landing. And it landed on top of what we would call here in Dunsmuir the hardware store. On that side is, I guess, an armament building. Angels would land on top of the building, and their gear would get put away, and they would come out in the front of the building with no gear on. They would be like, this one guy, he came out, very big, tall guy, blonde hair, white shirt, blue jeans, white tennis shoes, very blonde, I don't know, light complected, and just like a normal person. Anyway, I remember that, and then I think from there I just went back to my music stand. That's another incident in the beautiful city. There's others. I think I've hit the key ones. There's probably more. It's hard to remember things when you're trying to get it all out on a video. But there's more things that happen, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, one time I was playing my bass on a stage. There's two incidents here. Okay, at that point, Becky Rader, Julie Dew, and Vicky Phyllis Wilson, my wife, today, they were all arm in arm, and I have a visitor now. But anyway, they were all arm in arm, and they were singing, "We are family. I got all my sisters with me." Okay, well, the next incident that happened was the locomotion, and Becky would lead us around through the garden doing the locomotion, and the people that I met there doing that, you see on television. Kenneth Copeland, his wife, Joyce Meyer, her husband, and many others. People that I know here in Dunsmuir that are here, some have gone home. Anyway, I've got to cut this short. My next video will be on what happened after I finished my music and my work when Katrina and I went to go play in the garden. Thank you for listening. Bye.